Imagine you are standing in a busy Japanese festival market. You have a list of things to buy, but to get what you need, you'll have to start by asking the right questions about quantity. This is Ikutsu. In Japanese, this is the foundational word for finding out how many of almost any general item. Start with the object, like ringo for apple. Add the particle wo, drop in Ikutsu, and finish with the verb kaimashita ka. This structure is modular. Swap the apple for a chair or bag, and the rest of the sentence stays exactly the same. When you ask a question using Ikutsu, the person helping you will usually answer using traditional Japanese counting words, like hitotsu for one or futatsu for two. Learning this one word allows you to inventory or acquire nearly any small three-dimensional item you encounter in daily life. Now, let's say you've gathered your items and you're standing at the checkout counter ready to pay. If you point to the fruit and use Ikutsu here, the clerk will simply count the apples for you again. This word identifies the number of items, but it cannot tell you the price. For that, you need a different word. While Ikutsu looks at the physical count, we use ikuda when we need to ask how much money something costs. Mixing these two up at a busy market can be confusing. You might find yourself asking for the quantity of coins in the register rather than the cost of your goods. Separating the physical count from the financial value helps you avoid these types of misunderstandings during a transaction. As we move back into the market, we have to look at the specific limits of what Ikutsu can actually count. While it works for most objects, you cannot use this word for people or animals. In Japanese, living beings require their own specific counting words. You might also hear nanko. This is a popular alternative that is used strictly for three-dimensional objects. As you can see, both of these words stay away from counting people or animals. While nanko is common for things like eggs or boxes, ikutsu remains the standard default for general items. Knowing these boundaries prevents grammatical errors when you switch from talking about groceries to talking about your pets or your family. Let's look at a different scenario. You meet a child at the market and want to ask how old they are. Japanese grammar handles counting the years of a person's life using the same logic as counting objects in a basket. By taking ikutsu and adding desu ka, the phrase for is it, you create the standard way to ask a child's age. You can also use nansai, which literally asks for the number of years. However, ikutsu is the traditional native preference for this question. This phrasing uses the same underlying counting rhythm as physical objects, making it feel very natural to native speakers. Because age shares this counting foundation with objects, the grammar allows you to discuss the years of a person's life as a tangible, countable quantity. Now, imagine you are speaking to the adult shopkeeper instead. In Japanese society, the social hierarchy changes how you ask personal questions. Asking an adult their age using the casual version is often too direct. It doesn't provide the level of respect required for the situation. To adjust the tone, we use the honorific prefix o. This modifier attaches directly to the front of our question word. This creates o ikutsu. It is a polite and softer way to ask an adult or a superior their age without being too blunt. To recap, you now have 4 variations for your market visit: ikutsu for general quantity, ikura for price, ikutsu desu ka for a child's age, and o ikutsu desu ka for adults. With these variations, you can handle both shopping trips and social introductions using the same foundational root word.